Hello, this is Jill Hockemeyer from Joyful Creations Studio, and I wanted to do a quick video explaining what our studio layout looks like for those of you who might be considering going to the classes in person. We are not going to be meeting in person until the week of June 15th. June 14th is when we move into phase 4 of the Back to Work plan that Governor Holcomb has spelled out. And after June 14th, masks are optional. So that next week, beginning that week, we are going to be able to meet in person for classes, but I wanted you to be reassured of the precautions that we're taking if you do choose to come into the studio. So as you can see, this is our waiting area. There are some chairs in the waiting area, but they're safely distanced away from some other seats in the waiting area. You'll also notice that when you come in, and by the way, if you do plan to come into the studio for classes, I would ask that you not make a lot of stops between home and the studio. Just come directly from your home, thus lessening the chance of being out in public and risking, more exposure. So, but when you do come in, you would put your shoes into the cubbies, and there's hand sanitizer here. But more importantly, there's a sink here right near the front door. There's actually 4 sinks in the studio, and I'm going to make sure that there's always soap and hand sanitizer available. And if you do want to wear a mask during class, you are certainly welcome to, but it will not be required after June 14th. So this is the waiting area. Now I'm going to take you into the classroom. So in the Kindermusik classroom, which will just be divided off with a curtain, for classes, but for the mixed ages classes, parents are required to be in the class. So you'll be in here with your children, ages 1 to 4. As you'll see, the classes are going to be small. We are going to go ahead and take the precaution of making sure people are sitting about 6 feet, or actually a little farther than 6 feet apart from the next family. So we will have enough space in the classroom to have 4 families participating, and at each spot, you will have your own container of instruments needed for class. So generally in our classes, we would pass out a container of instruments, have the children get their own instruments, bring them to you, the parent, and then put them back in the same container. But we're not going to be doing that for a while. We're going to take some extra measures to make sure, even though we wash and sanitize instruments in between classes, it'd just be a little bit safer for each family to have their own container of instruments. And again, they will be sanitized properly after every class. So as you can see, we are taking some precautions and want you to feel completely safe. If you don't feel safe yet coming to classes in person the week of June 15th, there's still the option that month for virtual classes. So you can choose the virtual class option and continue doing classes from home. So we do hope that you'll consider enrolling in a class for Kindermusik, and it's a great way to interact with other families, whether you're doing it virtually or in person. And we also want you to know that we are being as safe as we can. We hope to see you soon in a class. If you have any questions, feel free to message us by email, or even going to the website joyfulcreationsstudio.com and submitting a message there. We'd be happy to answer your questions.